Hello. Thank you so much for checking out the MUSA program at the University of Pennsylvania. My name is Ken Steiff. I am the MUSA program director and a professor of practice in the city planning department. If you are here, it is because you are interested in how we teach spatial data science to social science students. Data science, as you might know, is the practice of converting data to actionable decision-making intelligence. It is different than using GIS to put some points on a map or gathering some census data for a simple regression. It is a technical discipline, and it has the goal of solving very specific resource allocation problems and then communicating results in an actionable way to non-technical decision makers. What we do in MUSA, however, is unique. We do teach both spatial and aspatial data science, but we teach them to solve problems in government and nonprofits first and foremost. And then obviously we take on lots of questions related to businesses as well. MUSA students are exposed to an incredible amount of new material in 1 year, but our goal is not to train engineers, and I want to start with that case in point. Philadelphia is experiencing record high homicides in 2020. The plot on the right shows homicide numbers only through October of 2020, and the trend is startling. It is really a heartbreaking reality, homicide is, one that is shattering communities across the city. At the same time, you also may know that law enforcement is collecting more data about both offenders and non-offenders than ever before. What if we could reduce homicides by 20% in Philadelphia by using these data to build proactive surveillance tools? What do you think? Should we do it? Give an engineer these data and he or she will build analytics that will solve this problem. But I guarantee you that because offenders are disproportionately people of color, the algorithm will point fingers mostly at Black and brown communities. In other words, the analytics will be biased. I'd like you to consider, how do you think these different stakeholders would feel about that algorithmic bias? To what extent are you or they willing to trade off, say, algorithmic bias for that 20% reduction in homicide? Which of these stakeholders would welcome the transparency required to make use of these data in crime fighting programs? Do you think there might be some disagreement? Absolutely. How do you think these differences can be squared? Well, if you play out this scenario, you realize that thinking about trade-offs and consequences, intended or otherwise, is really nothing new. It's not tech or big data or AI or any of those buzzwords. At MUSA, we don't teach data science for the sake of itself. We teach a data-driven form of planning and policymaking, one that is built on evidence, domain expertise, and the belief that society's most complex problems do not have simple solutions. No matter how much AI you throw at it, it doesn't matter. Data-driven policymaking is just a new take on an old problem. In the MUSA program, we will teach you the analytics, but always with this public policy context in mind. I'm going to leave many more details about the program for a more formal Q&A presentation during the actual open house, but I would like to touch on 3 things here: what we teach, to what end, and how we try our best to foster community. So in the MUSA program, you will learn 3 programming languages: statistics, spatial analysis, machine learning, remote sensing, data visualization, cloud computation, web-based mapping, and more. It is a 2-semester program, and here are the courses that we offer specifically in the MUSA program. You will notice the colored shapes denote fall and spring course pairings, which attempt to carry over important themes from one semester to the next. You can also see that our curriculum goes way beyond that of any GIS program. And again, I'll talk more in depth about each of these classes in our open house coming up. Besides these technical courses, MUSA students take an urban content requirement, which is particularly worth noting. MUSA students are required to take 2 related courses that are non-technical to help students ask interesting and important questions of their data. Students can take these courses from anywhere on campus, whether they want to learn about transportation or urban economics, public health, criminology, real estate, or really anything else from across the university. Obviously, the opportunity to study these fields at an institution like Penn is one reason MUSA is so special. The coursework culminates in Capstone work in the spring semester. There are 2 options: an independent study capstone and the MUSA practicum, where students work with actual government clients on machine learning projects. I urge you to Google MUSA practicum and check out these use cases, which are all super novel. Students use government data to create decision-making analytics, write up their work, really focused on data visualization and trying to make their work accessible to non-technical decision makers. And also they include their code to ensure that any jurisdiction that wishes to can reproduce their work. Finally, they develop a web-based application that serves their analytics in a user-friendly interface. You should absolutely go check it out. I will say that our students get jobs on the back of their course and capstone work, and the practicum site, I think, illustrates very well why this is so. Much of our coursework is aimed at getting you the skills, teaching you how to simplify your analytics into storytelling, and then effectively telling that story to those people who will affect the business process. Here is an example of a portfolio, a really wonderful portfolio from last year. But labor market outcomes are key to us at MUSA. Finally, I want to talk about community. At its core, MUSA is about civic technology, and civic technology is all about open source and fostering a community of like-minded nerds who want to use their skills for good. We try really hard to foster that environment. First, with the curriculum based 95% on open source software. Second, with coursework designed to foster collaboration among students. We also host a series of talks and community tutorials, what we refer to as the MUSA Masterclass. And here is one from very recently up in front of you right now. The idea of the MUSA Masterclass is to engage someone doing something unique and awesome in the field. We have them create a custom tutorial for us and then come to Penn to teach not only the MUSA students, but anyone who wants to join from around the world remotely. These things really show how it is that we try to create a community around civic technology. And finally, let me just say that there's so many more details, but I want to hold off for our formal open house to go into more depth. So go to the Weitzman School's open house page to register for the event, which is coming up fast. I'd love to chat with you one-on-one as well, so please be in touch. Shoot me an email. Thanks for listening and have a great day.